may not understand the situation right now, but believe what the scriptures have said. Romans 8 verse 28 is working all things out for your good. And lean not on your own understanding. I think we went into details of that yesterday. Lean not on your own understanding. You can go back to the YouTube channel and then find the exhortation on yesterday. Yeah, because we went so deep into exploring Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 to 6. Lean not on your own understanding. Surrender your limitations, because everybody's got one or two or more. So surrender your limited perspective, and trust in God's perfect wisdom. Okay? And realize that one of the reasons why we will trust in the Lord is that He is perfect. He is perfect. And our God, in fact, God is our refuge. So what it means is that we find comfort, we find security in God's presence. And if you don't find comfort, if you don't find security in God's presence, then your trust is not in Him for your deliverance, especially during trying or uncertain times, during times of difficulty, during times where things look gloomy. Where is your trust? Trust in His goodness. I exhort you, beloved, I encourage you to trust in God's goodness. Believe in God's loving plan for your life, because He has a great plan for you. Though our plans may fail, but God always has a plan, and His plans fail not. So what must we do? We must believe in God's loving plan for our lives. We must believe. Even when we don't understand, we must still believe. And don't fear. No matter what, cast aside fear and rely on God's strength, knowing that He is your ultimate protector. He's your ultimate protector. When you do this, then you can be sure of God's deliverance. Commit to God, okay? Yeah. As we surrender our plans and our desires to God, trusting that He will guide us. Let me give us some few biblical examples. Number one, the example of Abraham. Abraham's faith was a top notch. That is why he is called the father of faith. Trusting God's promises despite uncertainties. Trusting God's promises despite the seeming challenges. See, Abraham's faith was credited, the Bible said, was credited unto him as righteousness. Yeah. Romans 4:3, it was credited to him as righteousness. Hebrews 11:8. Another good example is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Fantastic trust in God. Even if God does not deliver yet, you will not bow. That is absolute trust. That is actually faith graduating to trust. Faith graduating to trust. Trusting God's deliverance even in the face of death. I love the story. Go back and read it. You'll be encouraged. These three men stood firm in their faith. Their faith generated into trust. Daniel chapter 3 verse 16 to 18. Yeah. Powerful. The last example is David. David's trust, pouring out his heart to God. David trusted in God's deliverance and God's protection. Hallelujah. Now, knowing all this, what do we do? Let me give us some few practical steps, just 2 or 3, and then we begin to pray. What steps do I take now? What step do I take? Number one step you need to take, we need to take. Depend on God. Depend on God, absolutely. Recognize your limitations and trust in His wisdom, trust in His care, because He cares for you. Number 2, honor Him, honor God, prioritize God's will and provision in your life. Submit your will to His will. And finally, seek God's guidance. Seek God's guidance. Seek